Good day everyone, I am Ramjit Landicho, a leader ng DICOM Group. And today we are gonna talk about digital imaging and communications in medicine, or also known as DICOM. So let's get started. So first, what is DICOM?
DICOM is a standard protocol for the management and transmission of medical images and related data and is used in many healthcare facilities. According to DICOM Standard Committee, DICOM is digital imaging and communications in medicine, the international standard to transmit, store, retrieve, print, process, and display medical imaging information.
So yun na nga, marami nga pong function yung DICOM because madami siyang function, marami rin siyang misconception. So about DICOM, no? Inisip nila DICOM is a mere file format or medical images, simply. But it is not. DICOM is a universal language or transfer protocol of not just an image, but kasama na din yung demographical information, also yung information about the procedure na embedded talaga siya sa isang DICOM file format. So because of DICOM, there is communication or interoperability between different departments of or imaging departments as well as the PAC system for easy retrieval or viewing. So madali lang siya. Madali lang siya i-access kahit iba-iba pang modality or iba-iba pang brand or device na ginagamit or kahit ibang procedure pa. So that is the universality of DICOM. Napaka-wide ng kanyang scope. Napaka-wide yung kanyang kinikater na functions.
So next, it integrates image acquisition devices, PACS workstations, VNAs, and printers from different manufacturers.
So, i-emphasize natin VNA or yung vendor neutral archives. So si DICOM, no, kahit iba't iba pang brand yan, kahit iba pa yung vendor niya, as long as DICOM compatible or DICOM compliant yung device, pwede talaga siya i-integrate as a software or interface sa modality system na ginagamit.
Next is it makes medical imaging information interoperable.
For instances, there is one patient that needs to undergo like multiple imaging procedures. For example, she needs or he needs MRI or chest x-ray. So, hindi siya magiging problema kay DICOM. Why? Kasi pwede siya i-display dalawa sa monitor side by side. For comparison, tsaka hindi lang naman for comparison. It's for better interpretation and to create more accurate diagnosis for the patient.
Non-image data such as scanned documents may be incorporated using consumer industry standard formats like PDF, once encapsulated in DICOM.
So when we say file format, ano nga ba file format? So it is the standard way that information is encoded for storage in a computer. So, ano nga ba yung pinaka-common ngayon na file format? Na yung mga pinaka-conventional na file format. So we have JPEG, diba? .png. But DICOM or .dcm na extension is not just merely a format or medical images. Standard ito. Tandaan nyo, standard ito, which governs the data transfer, the archiving, and the display protocol.
The DICOM standard is managed by the Medical Imaging and Technology Alliance, a division of the National Electrical Manufacturers Association. So punta naman tayo sa field of application. The DICOM standard pertains to the field of medical informatics. Within that field, it addresses the exchange of digital information between medical imaging equipment and other systems. This standard has been developed with an emphasis of diagnostic medical imaging as practiced in, we have here yung radiology, cardiology, pathology, dentistry, ophthalmology, and other related disciplines. So we have here yung image-based therapies, we have interventional radiology, radiotherapy, and surgery. So this is applicable to a wide range of image and non-image related information exchanged in clinical, research, veterinary, and other medical environments. The two main components of DICOM are the DICOM file format and the DICOM network protocol. These two elements work together so that the images are in a standard format and the exchange of image is also standardized. Finally, DICOM works because everybody uses it. If a device is not DICOM compliant, no one is going to buy it in today's healthcare world.
So the DICOM file format, this is the first main component of DICOM standard is all medical images are saved in DICOM format. Medical image equipment creates DICOM files. So it is integrated to the image acquisition device. Next is doctors use DICOM viewers. It is another feature of DICOM services to the DICOM viewer. And computer software applications that can display DICOM images to diagnose the findings in the images. So DICOM files contain more than just images. Every DICOM file format holds patient information such as name, ID, sex, and date of birth, which are examples of DICOM attributes or DICOM objects. So next is each DICOM file holds important acquisition data such as type of equipment, use, and settings on the modality. So next is DICOM network protocol is the second component of DICOM standard. So first is all medical imaging applications that are connected to the hospital network used to DICOM protocol to exchange information mainly in DICOM images but also patient and procedure information. So all of this group of information is merged together, embedded in one DICOM file in the DICOM network protocol. So nandyan siya lahat, they cannot be separated. Next is the DICOM network protocol is used to search for imaging studies in the archive and retrieve image studies to the workstation in order to display it. So we can search for specific studies like studies kasi is a set of acquired images of patients. So you can search and retrieve it on the workstation in order for the radiology displayed it on the monitor. Next is there are also more advanced network commands that are used to schedule procedures, reports, statuses, and share the workload between doctors and imaging devices. So there are also advanced network commands that can cater DICOM. It can be for scheduling a procedure, report status, or share the workload between doctors and imaging devices. So main benefits of DICOM standard, the first one is excellent image quality. DICOM supports all 65,536 shades of gray. So we don't know na ganyan kadami yung shades of gray, but because of DICOM, there is a principle that they follow, which is grayscale display function. So all shades are displayed to be uniform. So whenever or kung saan man nila ipiprint, they have the same grayness or even sa soft or hard copy. Next is universally adopted medical imaging standard. All image device use DICOM, making them easier to connect to the network. So DICOM, it allows them to connect or it made them easier to connect to the network. So it is for universal. Next is full support for numerous image acquisition, parameters, and different data types. It includes the patient and device information, not just the image data. It can encode a lot of different information. It uses robust ID mechanism so that it is unique identification of the patient in terms of the data and other informations of the patient. Next is complete encoding of medical data. DICOM devices use more than 2,000 attributes to convey precise medical data. Clarity in describing digital imaging devices and their functionality. So working your DICOM interfaces is a predictable process.
DICOM converts real-world data into DICOM objects. DICOM objects are named after their real-world counterparts. So in reality, there is a patient, and there are things about the patient which could be translated into the DICOM world as a DICOM objects. So a DICOM object that contained all the information about the patient would be called the Patient Information Object Definition or Patient IOD. The patient IOD will have data such as patient's name, ID, DOB, weight, etc. As you can see, the patient we have here is injured. So from the real world, the information about the patient will be translated into the DICOM world as ganito: name, ID, DOB, weight, and sex. So ayan, kita naman natin yung information. So these are translated to the DICOM file as the patient IOD or the information object definition, which are embedded lang sa image data. And then, kapag sinerch mo lang siya, kasama na siya doon. So from real data to DICOM IOD, each IOD is a collection of attributes. DICOM objects are acted upon by DICOM services. DICOM services perform functions like move, find and store DICOM objects. When a DICOM service is paired with the DICOM object, this is called a service object pair or SOP. So this is an example of an DICOM object, a DICOM service, and a SOP class or a service object pair. So for example, the DICOM object natin is the CT image. For the DICOM service naman, we have retrieve. So kapag pinag-combine natin yung DICOM object and the DICOM service, we will have a service object per class na CT image retrieve.
What are DICOM services? Most DICOM services involve transmission of data over a network. It can store. It is used to send images or other persistent objects, structured reports, etc. to a picture archiving and communication system or PACS or workstation. So before sending to the archives, the information is stored in DICOM. It has storage commitment. It is used to confirm that an image has been permanently stored by a device or burned into a CD. For example, if it burned into a CD or safely transferred and secured to another device. So now you can delete in the other device without losing information. You could query or retrieve. It enables a workstation to find lists of images or other such objects and then retrieve them for a picture archiving and communication system. You can search in the service provider or the radiology information system and immediately find the medical information you're looking for. Modality work list. This provides a list of imaging procedures that have been scheduled for performance by an image acquisition device, sometimes referred to as a modality system. It can schedule automatically for the image acquisition device, like an MRI, or the procedures to take place and their time. The items in the work list include relevant details about the subject of the procedure, the patient ID, name, sex, and age, type of procedure, the equipment type, procedure description, procedure code, and the procedure order, the referring physician, accession number, and the reason for exam. An image acquisition device queries a service provider, such as IRS, or the Radiology Information System, to get this information, which is presented to the system operator and is used by an imaging device to populate the details in the image metadata. The information they extracted from the radiology system will be used and transmitted as command for the proper order of the procedure and to better evaluate the patient. Prior to the use of DICOM modality worklist service, the scanner operator was required to manually enter all the relevant information about the scheduled procedure, which is prone to human error, but is now automatically integrated to the software of the modality. PPS, or Modality Performed Procedure Step, a complementary service to modality worklist. This enables the modality to send a report about a performed examination, including data about the images acquired, beginning time, end time, and duration of the study, dose delivered, etc. It helps give the radiology department a more precise handle on the resource acquisition station use. This service allows a modality to better coordinate with image storage servers by giving the server a list of objects to send before or while actually sending such objects. And printing. used to send images to a DICOM printer, normally to print an X-ray film. There is a standard calibration to help ensure consistency between various display devices, including a hard copy. That is called the grayscale standard display function. DICOM connections. DICOM contains protocols for how DICOM devices talk to each other. When you meet someone new at a meeting, there is a protocol. You say hello and you shake hands. At the end of the meeting, you shake hands again. Imaging devices and systems have similar protocols set forth by the DICOM standard. There's a standard greeting, an exchange of basic information, and even something called a DICOM handshake, performed by two imaging devices. In summary, medical imaging devices create DICOM files. DICOM files contain the image data, information about the patient, and other information about the image. DICOM contains networking protocols. DICOM identifies something by a collection of its attributes, which is called an Information Object Definition, or IOD. DICOM uses services to perform functions with the objects. A DICOM object plus a service equals a service-object pair, or SOP. DICOM networking protocol details a specific procedure for DICOM's devices to connect, including a DICOM handshake.